Yeah. Ooh, let me
Gabe, you fat.
Oh my god! Already, I gotta use the for you guys.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the pre-show. We're gonna go live at 8 p.m. sharp. Hopefully, somebody remind me.
Gabe waiting for shopping at Baby Gap to H&M.
H&M to Big and Tall, Big and Short. So
Like,
John's
we got a
fat
lot to
shamer,
talk about.
So we need to cancel him. We need to do yes calzone.
Oh, do we have anything? I don't have anything for calzone just yet, but maybe AOC. Does anybody want to defend AOC?
No. Again, we're gonna talk about her again. Jesus.
I know she just added something new. She just voted. Had a terrible vote. Hi, Holly Horn in the chat. What's up?
Ivermectin for no calzone.
Yeah. Two people just died from ivermectin. Saw it on
horse ivermectin.
Read.
There's actual human ivermectin.
Joe Rogan survived.
I don't know which one it was.
Hold up. You pro ivermectin there, Gabe?
No, I'm anti people saying it's horse medicine.
That's like a tiny bit of the whole thing. You shouldn't be using it.
It's a huge part of it. They actually recommend.
And this is why it needs to be no calzone.
Exactly.
Because
all right, we're gonna put it no calzone. Okay.
No calzone, because I agree with Gabe on this one.
Quick.
We had a whole debate.
My God. You guys and your 4 followers.
Are you serious?
This guy, like, the case just go like this every week. He goes,
we gotta clip that one out.
He's like, Nancy Pelosi should remain the Speaker of the House. Now I agree with Gabe.
Oh man,
Case, you gotta be on the right side at least to win a few. Get back on the good graces of our viewers.
For the record, I don't know Gabe.
Look, Holly Horn gave me a heart, so I'm fine. The love is in the building.
She's just saying hi. She's just saying hi.
She didn't
I'll take it though. I'm gonna translate it into whatever I want it to be. She's sending me love. That's what I said. I said what I said.
All I know is that in the group you're like,
yo, so let's talk about some stuff in this pre-show. Here's a meme.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Let me know if you guys could see it. It says, thanks for voting against, not you. Yeah, and that's on AOC. And then additional Iron Dome funding. So it's thanking everybody else except for AOC. So, and then let's see what this is. And when you guys
hardy har.
Yeah, I know, right?
So Izzy, while we have you, what is the defense of AOC in this case?
There is no defense. There's not even a defense. Actually, no. First of all, play that video, Case, because that is way more important than AOC.
Izzy, so you're on the other side of me when I was trying to defend Nancy. You're like, nah.
No, because I'm not trying to defend. Okay, you know what? Real quick, I'm not trying to defend AOC. There is no defense of AOC. But what I'm trying to what I'm against is the Doryism of our country. Like how people are foaming at the mouth over a $1 billion bill that was 420 to 9 that she didn't even vote yes on. I understand what she did was wrong. I get it. Like, you're not going to see me say that it wasn't wrong. It was wrong. But why are you foaming at the mouth in rage? Explain that to me.
There was a time when Tulsi Gabbard voted president or something, and she was canceled.
And it wasn't a 420 to 9 bill, and it wasn't a $1 billion spending bill. It was actually important, and no one here was foaming at the mouth.
Good that you brought that up, right? Because I think it's just the same way. I think Carlito and I was even talking about this. It's like the problem that I have is that those people, like, if we criticize Tulsi for what she did, we will criticize AOC. To me personally, I don't want to hear the whole 429 to 9 vote, $1 billion with Trump impeachment. No. You go in and you're supposed to go in and you're supposed to have a vote. My problem that I have is that you have the Tulsi Gabbard crew praising her for a present vote, and then over here, like, going completely off AOC for doing the exact same thing. So you can't have it both ways. You can either say, if you go in and criticize, and that's what always been my problem with. It's like, this candidate could do no wrong. This candidate do the exact same thing. And it's like, oh my God, it's like the end of the world. For me, again, like I was saying, what she did was wrong. You could be disappointed. You don't have to donate money. But to go to the extreme of like canceling her and like defending, like it's a bit much. But how about Bowman? Bowman is not getting to me, and I tell you before this, to me, I'm gonna call Bowman Obama 2.0. And now that's what I'm gonna call him.
Damn, that's harsh.
For me, it's like that dude, he's like nobody going after him. So you can't, because one person is the most famous politician that we currently have right now, one of the most famous politicians. Everybody talks about her. So you either hate her or you love her. There's no in between.
But this is why.
I'll say this,
It's called
the Fred Hampton left is going in on
voted yes, and I get it. And easy explain it to me. I'm not from New York. I I don't understand how the whole district and thing. Easy explain it to me. He's closer to the district. Is very heavily, Jewish, and like if he voted no, he would basically commit his political suicide. But still, like if you're gonna criticize one, criticize the other as well. Like don't just go focus on one candidate.
Let's talk about Bowman. So my issue with Bowman is if you are going to vote that way, you got to come before the congregation, explain yourself. And I hope you don't do what AOC did with her jibber jab 3-letter page that didn't say anything. But you have to actually articulate why you're voting that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody here read that letter and felt, oh, now I get it. Now I get why she did what she did. We're all on the same page there. Yeah.
Like to me, the letter was worse than made things worse because it seemed like she was. Most of the letter was talking about how bad it was, the whole bill was, but yet when it was time to say like why she voted for it, it was some kind of muddled thing that
she didn't vote for it. She didn't vote for it because
when she voted president. It was kind of muddled. She didn't say why she voted president. So
that was definitely a big political mistake in whoever.
Right. So anyway, she failed at the vote. Boo, bad AOC. Let me see you. Somebody say something about Tulsi now.
Nope. Nope. Crickets. And Gabe is trying to act like he's saying something, but he's on mute. So
Tulsi Gabbard, I think it's time to talk about her. I think it's officially
It is never time to talk about Tulsi Gabbard.
No, it's been time. It was time when she was supporting a genocidal dictator in India.
Didn't you see her? Like, what was her comment the other day? Like,
yeah, exactly. So a lot of people are renouncing Tulsi. I think Gabe is about to do it. Let's bring Gabe to
that's
the front.
That's where going.
Come before
wait. You better put this in the clip. Is that the case? Gabe.
All right, Gabe, come before the congregation.
Gabe, let's go.
So about a year and a half ago, we had a gentleman on this show called Felipe, who was stating that Tulsi Gabbard was a grifter and that he could see right through her and that she was angling for a job in right-wing media news, and I defended her and I said, no, absolutely not. And I think it may be time to give Felipe a kudos because after all this time, it just seems like Tulsi is somebody with no home and no political home and is trying to go with the tides and doesn't really care if it's progressive or populist right or populist. And I think she's just trying to go with whatever she can get whatever's the latest fad. So I am henceforth canceling Tulsi Gabbard.
Denouncing and rejecting.
I have renounced my love.
Yo, this is my thing.
You better put this.
Tulsi
Better
is
late than never, man.
You better put this. Gabe,
I don't understand Tulsi.
We would like to welcome you back home, but you better put this in the clip right next to where I'm saying I'm buying a house in Miami.
I just want to say in the chat real quick, our guy Isaiah Taylor, he said, the issue here is AOC is second or third popular in fundraising for the Democratic Party. So while it sucks, Bowman did what he did, and good for y'all for calling it out, AOC is lacking here. So before we move on from that conversation, I just wanted to read that statement. Support policies, not politicians. What's up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the building.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
that's exactly what we do. Support policies, not politicians. So when they do good, we kudos. When they do bad, we're like,
we're like, F you.
Exactly. So it's 7:53. Izzy, I don't know if I want to give you the space to jump out or if you want to hang out.
Yeah, I'll jump out now. But yeah, the clip that you're about to play is devastating. It is ridiculous. It is illegal in many countries. I can't believe that this happened right here in New York, right here in the Bronx.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm just disgusted. And on that, I will leave with my disgust. Thank you guys for having me for the pregame. Yeah. You enjoy the show.
Can you give a shout out to the NYPD with the beep button?
With the what?
With your beep.
Oh yeah. The police, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but you guys enjoy. I'll try to watch in the background. Have fun, everybody.
Right. Thanks so much. All right, before. Okay, so I gotta fix.
It got clipped already.
Yeah. See if I could fix this.
I can't believe. I thought I would never hear
canceled.
Here we go.
She could have been great. She could have been president one day. And she just
she's a mixed bag.
She was trying to straddle the line. She was
the test.
How you go
candidate.
from dropping out the DNC to endorse Bernie, and then she just like went all the way right? I was gonna say left, but she went all the way right.
She's almost as bad of a politician as Elizabeth Warren.
Oh my, and that's pretty bad.
Almost.
Clip that too.
Yeah, well, I don't know if she's as bad because she's probably gonna get paid at her Fox News gig or whatever. So, what did Warren get? Nothing.
Exactly. That's why she's so bad, right?
Warren's still waiting for her Secretary of Treasury.
Warren gonna be waiting a long time
with Felipe,
Vice President.
Yo, what we doing? You got the whole control center up in the YouTube.
Oh, my bad. Just give me some time. I gotta fix the boxes. I'll move it real quick.
Yeah, it's called pre-show for a reason.
Yeah, guys, you guys could talk though.
How the sausage gets made.
Yep.
What the heck? I said to her, Tulsa doesn't have home because she's too busy doing covert ops in Guinea, low key. Damn.
That's the next. That's the imagination over there. Gotta get interesting imagination.
But support politicians and politicians. I have a story. This is for Gabe. I'm so glad we didn't lose you the door. I think that's for Gabe.
Oh. Wait till you hear the ivermectin.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey,
just flip that right back around.
Hey, listen, before I said that, we the NorCal Zone crew, we don't agree with everybody on the left spectrum, but everybody has a role to play. Sometimes they mess up too bad for me to even care about them anymore. But we still. But I do like to what I say in my favorite term, the Overton window. The right wing has the crazies. Yeah, the right wing has their crazies that makes the other crazy policies seem like normal and be like the consensus or like the negotiated middle, when in reality it's way far because the crazies moved everything too far for the right. So I would like something similar to the left in a way where when we talk, we're not as bad, but when we talk about things that are free everything or whatever you want to call it, all right, well then when we get Medicare for all, that seems like a compromise.
All right, so we got how many 4 minutes left? I'm gonna see if I can do a rapid fire.
I got a story that kills. Oh, you're gonna press play? Press play.
Yeah. What you had a story you said though, Gabe?
No, but you could go ahead and press play. I can say it when it's my turn in the go around.
All right. Can you guys hear? I can't hear.
No.
All right. So basically, I don't even know if this has audio. Does anybody know if this have audio by any chance?
It did. I saw like 3 or 4 clips, and some of them had audio.
All right, hold on.
Audio.
It's just throwing out food.
Yeah.
It's a street vendor that sells like food.
I guess he doesn't have a proper license, so they're taking all the food, perfectly good, fresh food, and putting it in a garbage truck.
And it says, in the middle of a pandemic in the Bronx, where 1 in 5 don't have enough to eat, the NYPD, NYC sanitation trashes a business destroying produce in a food desert. This family is just trying to run a small business and sell affordable fruits and veggies. Terrible. All right, here's the one where the police are beating up people. Let me just blow it up a little bit. Totally. This doesn't have sound either. Okay, so I gotta figure that out before. But did you guys hear about this? It says in cities run by Democrats around the nation, the police are used to beat and brutalize people trying to feed those in need and protesting for racial justice. It says yesterday in New York City, the Gym Collective was providing food, clothes, and other supplies for those in need. This is how the NYPD responded. So,
what I gotta say, cities run by Democrats. It's all the cities. The cops are loved by the establishment on both sides.
Facts.
Here is
2 minutes.
I would love for people to say this, or this city's run by Democrats. I'd love them to have something better on the cities run by Republicans, but they don't. So what's the point of them even saying that?
Hold on 1 second. I found out what's wrong. Okay, so I think that should fix it. All right, so the next time I'm gonna run the video. Oh, we're about to start the show. All right, I'm gonna use the rest of these clips if we run out of stuff to talk about. Well,
damn price.
Yo, that's Chipotle got all my money.
Chipotle got your money?
Yeah, look how much the CEO makes. I be eating mad Chipotle.
I stopped eating Chipotle when they start asking me 25 cents for an extra like beans or something. Like, try to ask me money for everything. It's like,
God forbid.
No, I was like, no, I don't want you to ask me extra. Just increase the price, call it a day, but don't try to like nickel and dime me. I want extra rice.
That extra rice is free?
Not depend where you Chipotle you be
they
going.
got mad at people hacking the Chipotle menu. They were like, let me get extra beans and then both type of beans and a half and a half of meat.
Yeah,
and they're doing the menu hack.
Yeah, you always get the burrito bowl, never the burrito. You just ask for a tortilla on the side
to get more food.
Yeah, and then they change it over here to show you 50 cents extra for the tortilla on the side.
Yeah, now they're charging for the tortillas on the side. They are. That's true. Even
they are charging for that. Yeah,
but the extra rice is still free.
It's time to start the show, baby. Bendo, you ready with my music? All right, let's do it. I'm gonna wait for you to start playing. Hey,
what is happening?
So we got two
two different music. I gotta fix that.
Yeah.
You can't see Izzy's dance moves today.
Izzy's not here today, so today's gonna be a hot mess.
What's up, everybody? It's CaseStudyQB, and we are the Political Junkies back at it again. And I want to give a quick shout out to Holly Horn, PJ Chris, PJ Holly. Hopefully, PJ Neat is coming soon, and all the people in the chat. What's going on, family? Let me go around the horn. We got Carlito, Gabe, Bendo, John, and me, Case. We up in here talking politics. Carlito, how you doing, my man?
See my background. I wish I was at the beach right now, man. I was doing work up until right before the show. Crazy right now. But I got a job.
There you go. Gabe, how you doing?
I'm all right. In my downer of the week, I wanted to tell a little story about a family member that I've been negotiating with to try to get vaccinated. And I've gotten pretty much every excuse on the planet of not getting vaccinated. Finally, I think I got them, and they were going to get the Johnson. And then they went and I looked up the Johnson. They're like, wait, no, it has aborted fetuses. And I'm like, damn it, I was so close. So then I go look it up, and it turns out, maybe was created with some parts from and I'm just like so close. So now I'm trying to get the beginning of the Moderna or the Pfizer, but they said that they can only get the first shot because the second one is the one that I don't want to get us demonetized.
Okay,
so I'm just trying to combat that. That's my everyday. I think I spent probably like 30 minutes trying to get this person to get vaccinated. It's my community service.
All right. Keep it going. Bendo, what's up, my man?
Since Izzy isn't here, let's go Yankees.
Okay, he's representing.
Who is this
John,
guy?
what you got to say about that?
This is the same guy that's a Patriots fan, so whatever he says, he
doesn't really hold any value right now.
Any value, but
he's a fan of whoever is winning at the time.
Yeah, but if I had easy beep, I would just say the Red Sox.
All right.
So.
All right, that's your statement. Let's get into the politics.
That's all I wear.
My man Carlito, you want to be ready for the rundown?
Let's do this, baby.
All right, let's do it.
All right, first story. We'll start with. This is hilarious. If you haven't seen this, Breitbart writer insanely blames libs for manipulating Trump fans into dying of vaccine refusal by Colby Hall at Mediaite.com. So Breitbart news writer John Nolte argued that Howard Stern and the left are using reverse psychology to trick Republicans into dying of COVID. So this is his quote. If I wanted to use reverse psychology to convince people not to get a life-saving vaccination, I will do exactly what Stern and the left are doing. I will bully and taunt and mock and ridicule you for not getting vaccinated, knowing the human response will be, hey, F you, I'm never getting vaccinated. And what's the result? They're all vaccinated and we're not. And when you look at the numbers, the only numbers that matter, which is who's dying, is overwhelmingly the unvaccinated who are dying. And they have just manipulated millions of their political enemies into the unvaccinated camp. So Democrats may be smart when it comes to punishing the left, but not that smart, especially when it comes to punishing the right. And they're definitely not that evil either. What you think about that?
So back to me for a second. one of the ways I was trying to convince this family member to get vaccinated was I said that the devil is trying to kill Christians. So I said that most of the people that aren't getting vaccinated are Christians, and this is the devil's work to try to kill Christians, and that God sent the vaccine. So it's very important that for Christians to take the vaccine. And that didn't work either, but it was a valiant attempt.
So Gabe, this is the first and hopefully the last time I will say this. Send her the Breitbart article.
All right.
That's funny. I stopped watches right twice a day.
Not even. They just stupid, but at least you'll convince some people to get vaccinated. And whatever they want to believe, as long as they get vaccinated. All right. Next story. Dick's Drive-In plans to invest in employees by increasing base wages, by G and Ursula Show at mynorthwest.com. So Dick's Drive-In has had scholarships and childcare benefits for decades, so they care about their employees. But now they're moving eligibility up sooner. They're also raising the minimum wage to $19 or $20 per hour, depending on their location. They're providing dental and health insurance, and they're paying for overtime after 32 hours. If a drive-in restaurant chain can't do it, why can't much bigger and more profitable companies do it as well?
First of all, pause. No, I'm just joking.
Well, you know what? I love the fact that they're doing this, but I'm becoming a bigger and bigger advocate for co-ops. Like, I love that they're giving all these benefits, but I want the employees to own the business and be able to do it for themselves.
Yeah, but one good thing too also like to know about this article was one of the reasons, like we'll give them proper stuff, but one of the reasons they also was doing is because there's a shortage. People are tired of working for minimum wage. And you know, they I think they talked about also that they fail some what was it? What's the word I'm looking for? They fail some, I can't think of the word right now. Mm-hmm. Help me out, Carlito.
I don't know what you do. It's
all right.
No, move on. I felt that. I think some sanitation visits, they failed some of those, so they needed to hire more employees to make sure that they continue with that. But even I think I wasn't sure, but even like the cheapest.
So okay, we're gonna cancel that. Shout out in the chat.
This is that's the Apollo. That's the Sandman of the Apollo. You put the music at the Oscars.
Give me out.
So shout out to All or Nothing in the chat, or All for Nothing, giving us a shout out. They found us from Heartlands Media, and of course from the great Rational National. So welcome to the Political Junkies. If you're here, you're a political junkie too. So we're glad to have you.
Much love. And also to Rafael Rodriguez. It's been a minute.
So you know, I said, so just so you know, he always does that to me. He always plays me off. When I start talking, he plays the music so that I can stop.
He skips you during the introductions.
Yeah, we're going to get to the chats. We see a lot of good comments, but let's go on to the next story, Cody.
All right, next story. Alberta is a fascinating case study for those who seek to drop COVID-19 restrictions, by James Peters at cfcjtoday.com. So the beginning of the summer, Alberta, Canada Premier Jason Kenney got rid of COVID restrictions and declared that Alberta will have its best summer ever, including selling merchandise that read "Best Summer Ever, Alberta 2021." Then he went on vacation. So that's how it started. Well, how's it going? They're running out of ICU beds. And other provinces are saying they have their own problems, so don't send your sick people over here to our hospitals. So Kenny was one of those right-wing loudmouths saying that they will never have vaccine passports or anything like that. Well, now they have a thing called Restrictions Exemption Program. So I guess if you call them something else, it doesn't count. But, you know, we can make fun of the Canadian right-wing politicians for being almost as stupid as the ones here. But I say almost because even if this guy didn't apologize and did all those stupid things, at least now he's putting the restrictions in place that he said he wouldn't before, because he knows they work and he doesn't want his people to keep dying. So just like Gabe, better late than never, eh?
Better right. Keep it moving, keep it moving.
Next story. Polish region revokes anti-LGBT declaration over loss of EU funding, by Euronews with AP and AFP at Euronews.com. So this story is short and sweet. Poland, like many other European governments, has been taken over by right-wing racists and anti-Semites and homophobes. In 2019, dozens of municipalities created LGBT-free zones because they intended to protect families based on unions of a man and a woman. So EU leaders had denounced the resolutions as discriminatory, and the EU Parliament reacted earlier this year by passing a resolution declaring the entire 27-member EU a freedom zone for LGBT people. Well, Poland, being one of the welfare queens of Europe, gets substantial funding from the European Union, not very different from many of our red states who take in more than they give in federal taxes. We discussed the show before. So when the EU said, we're cutting you off, guess what happened? Those bigger resolutions got revoked last week. Money talks, right? Easy peasy. All right, last story. Dana Loesch knows who the enemy is. Thomas the Tank Engine. And we're not kidding. By Liz Dye at onecat.com. So put up that picture, man. Who in their right mind reacts to the addition of a black female character to a children's television show by photoshopping Klan hosts onto animated trains? Dana Loesch, that's who. This is what she said. They've decided that the next stop is Virtue Town. Thomas the Tank is now bringing gender balance to the show by adding girl trains. Seriously? One of those trains, Nia, will be from Kenya to add ethnic diversity to the show. So I'm not going to spend much time on this, except to say that she only has problems when it was a black African character was added. So because in 2016, Thomas the Tank Engine, they had a movie where they launched 13 new international friends for animated film, and none of them were black from Africa. So if I could read these names real quick, they had Alex of Belgium. They had Ashima of India, Raw of Brazil, Gina of Italy, the Flying Scotsman, Carlos of Mexico, Ivan of Russia, Vinny of North America, Frida of Germany, Young Bao of China, Shane of Australia, Etienne of France, Rajiv of India. So no black, no Africans in there, and nobody said a peep. And look now. That's all I gotta say.
One interesting comment on just media in general and specifically Netflix. So my daughter, who is 10, has been watching Netflix, and she said it's one of the only things we let her watch. And she says whenever she sees a show that has Latin people or black people, she goes, "Oh, that's part of the Representation Matters collection." And it's like, at first I was like, "Oh, that's great that they're doing this," but then I'm like, "Oh my God, the only Latin and black people are in this collection. They're not part of mainstream." So it's just like, it's a double-edged sword. On one side, I'm excited to see the more representation, but the fact, even like LGBTQ stories, they're all bunched into this like Representation Matters. but you know, I can't wait for a world where that just becomes the mainstream, and we don't have to, you know, we don't have to go out of our way to point out that this is not representation matters, but it's just a norm. So you know, it's a fight every day to bring this representation.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's go to the chat. A lot of great comments over there. I don't know, Gabe, if you saw my, or anybody see any good stuff over there?
I got canceled by Izzy. Izzy made time to come into the chat and cancel me for the pause on Dick's driving. I couldn't help it. Did Canada and the UBI? I'm not sure.
Let me see. Raphael Rodriguez.
We should get the Rational National on to talk about that.
Raphael Rodriguez said
misinformation. Said neat.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Raphael says, show people the list of anti-vaxxers who used their platform on podcasts, TV, or social media and have died. Maybe that will be enough to convince people to get vaccinated.
Nah, it's not, man. They're saying that they're getting killed at the hospitals. So one of the things we were talking in our chat earlier today was that there's groups that are telling people to leave the ICUs. They're saying that they're getting drowned by is it ivermectin? That's a drug that actually does help. Is that it? Yeah, I'm getting confused with the other one. No. I forgot the name, but it's a real drug for COVID that's actually for COVID that works, and they're saying that it's drowning them and that the ventilators are hurting them. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Right. So they're telling people to leave the ICU because they're getting killed there. And then so you know, some people will shall remain nameless. They will say, well, maybe that's a good thing. So at least now we have beds for the people that actually need them that are not the unvaccinated. And maybe I was one of those.
Maybe we could talk about segregation of vaccinated and unvaccinated in No Cancel Zone 2 today. So as a spoiler alert for later, stay tuned, because in the No Cancel Zone, we're going to be discussing ivermectin and what does everybody think about this segregation of vaccinated and unvaccinated. We could get some spicy takes.
Okay, Rosa Parks.
Anti-vax and then I'm taking note. Ivermectin. Okay, I took a note. All for nothing 388. Much love to you. Thank you for your comment. Let's see what else.
Raphael talking about he said one person died after leaving the hospital in England. I did see that story. There was a anti-vaxxer kind of influencer, and they were convincing this person like, hey, you got to get out of here, you got to save yourself, they're trying to kill you. And they ended up getting that person convinced to leave, and then the person died. So it is literally a death on that person's conscience right now.
Yeah, so politicians and politicians is asking if the end their UBI, that they were getting money to stay home, but I don't know if they ended it or not.
That's a good question.
So I can't say.
Oh, interesting stat I saw is that the ending of the additional unemployment benefits, the hypothesis by the elite class was that it would be the impetus to get these lazy people back to work. And it turns out they're not trying to go back to work for $7 an hour. So even despite the end of the unemployment additional benefits, it has shown no increase to people going back to work these terrible jobs. So I think, and what we are seeing is that in the companies that are paying decent wages, they have no problem finding candidates. It's only those people that have not come around to paying their employees more.
I want to ask John real quick, since I'm hearing news that Virginia, and our guy John is in Virginia, that the Democrat governor's race and the Republican is getting close. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think so.
You heard about that? Mm-hmm. Do you see a lot of ads on TV?
Oh yeah, I don't watch TV. So
okay.
I do get a lot of like stuff in the mail, but it is the Democrats again. Like they play their cards. They put a guy that's just awful, you know, just because he I think this is his second term. He wants to run again. You know, he goes on CNN to Terry McLaren, whatever he is. He's just as bad as Biden, but he just go in and he thinks he's just going to be a slam dunk, and the Trump base is coming out. They want to, I think they're getting tired of Virginia just being blue, and I don't think he's a great candidate. They could have put somebody there that could be better, and it's not as slam dunk as they think. And everybody may, people may not come out. And I don't think, but well, that guy, that young king, whatever, the Republican candidate, he's just as bad as Trump. So, but again, we're gonna get the lesser of the two evils. So basically, compare that race to like Trump and Biden. Basically, they just literally like twins. And you put them next to each other. So
a bowl of crap or a full bowl of crap.
Yeah, let me play this clip real quick, and then we're gonna go into no call zone. All right. So,
and we were reminded.
By the way, can you hear it?
Not yet. No.
I think it's remarkable to me that Cory Booker was like, I don't. He didn't say I don't trust, but he then described a situation that he says I don't trust.
I know we're not supposed to do this, but before we came on, we were chatting.
Described a situation that he says I don't trust.
I know we're not supposed to do this, but before we came on, we were chatting about this, and.
I'm sorry. Let me play it back one more time because I want you guys to hear what Chuck Todd is saying. So one more time. Let me make it big.
I think it's remarkable to me that Cory Booker was like, I don't. He didn't say I don't trust, but he then described a situation that he says I don't trust.
I know we're not supposed to do this, but before we came on, we were chatting about this. And we were reminded of the number of times where the House has felt like they were hung out to dry, that they passed something, whether it's climate, whether it's back in the 90s, the BTU tax, only to find that the Senate.
Oh, this has happened to House Republicans too, right? This is a Senate and a House do this to each other, no matter who's in charge.
It happened with the health care bill, right? They took that big vote and then watched the Senate go.
Right.
To me, where we are, though, is so much driven by, that phrase that Mike Tyson.
I don't think this set up the context.
Yeah, what's
very
the context?
Well. So I think this is it here. Chuck Todd didn't expect this bill.
Yeah, turn the volume down on the video a little bit.
Oh, it's too loud? Okay. Here it is. I think this is going to provide.
In that you wrote this letter along with 10 other senators. It's reinforced this idea. Hey, don't bring up the idea. Hey, don't. Question is what's with the? It looks like distrust from my perspective. In that you wrote this letter along with 10 other senators. It's reinforced this idea. Hey, don't bring up the bipartisan infrastructure bill in the House until the larger reconciliation bill is done. Why can't you trust centrists or moderates, however we want to classify the folks, that they'll be there? Why not pass this on Monday? Put some points on the scoreboard for President Biden, which right now helps the whole party, and trust that the moderates will be there for this?
I don't think it's a matter of trust. I think it's a matter of, I've been around here, this town now for 8 years, watching the best of intentions not manifest into something real. We were told that we see this as one package. The president, as recently last week, has said, don't separate this. This is one package that we're looking at. And so I just want to make sure this is not about a bunch of people who are battling it out in Congress. This is about the American people. And to get half of this done and leave mothers who are looking for affordable child care, Americans who are looking for lower cost prescription drugs, to leave people like that on the wayside, families that need that child tax credit, to leave those folks on the wayside is unacceptable to me. So I've seen the best of intentions. I want a more real guarantee.
Well, you just don't believe the word's not enough?
No, again.
I mean, that's what it comes down to.
No,
basically saying that Joe Manchin's word's not enough here.
Look, I have been looked in the eye by people in this town, and they meant it sincerely. There was honor in them saying it. Hey, Cory, we're not going to get this in such and such a bill, but we'll get to it. Well, sometimes that get to it turns out to be a year, the next Congress, or what have you. I'm sorry, when you have the leverage, you use the leverage, as long as it's not about ego or partisanship. For me, it's about the community.
Cory Booker.
By the way.
I don't even recognize him.
He said the guy that's bought by like pharmaceutical is lower prescription drugs.
He's the one that killed the prescription drug reimportation bill that was a bipartisan bill, and now 4 years later is like, oh well, lower drug prices. I was surprised by that, but if he's coming to the right side, then
I wonder if his girlfriend said, "I'm gonna leave you if you don't get it together."
That's true. What's her name again?
Oh my God! What's this? Is it Rosario Dawson?
Rosario Dawson. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think maybe she's eating away at him and getting in there.
Are they even together still?
She's
anyway. It doesn't matter. The point is he's saying good stuff.
Yeah,
Chuck Todd is as stupid as ever. Actually,
that's my point.
Like I want to say it's like, oh, he's playing the game, the centrist, but I actually think he's dumb. I think he's dumb.
That's why he's in the position he's in. He's in because he's going to be the one that fights against progressives. It's just in his soul. So no matter what, he can't help. He being Chuck Todd, just automatically taking the wrong take because it's the anti-progressive take. But just trust him. Come on,
I cannot be a politician, man, because I'll call it. Look, are you stupid? I'll be telling him.
That's what I put in my tweet. I was like, yo, is Chuck Todd is either dumb or he is purposely like just saying the wrong. I mean, this guy.
He's awful, man. He's just awful.
Yo, I can't believe he was saying what he was saying. And this is, by the way, this is something that I don't know if I've watched a lot of video. I don't know if anybody articulated it this way. They keep asking, do progressives trust the moderates? They already reneged. They came up 4 months ago with this plan to have these two bills going together. And then these radical conservative Republican Democrats, they're the ones that are reneging on the deal. So when he's here saying, how come you don't trust them? We don't trust them because they're already reneging on the deal. Like it baffles my mind that nobody says that point. They're already reneging on the deal.
Yeah, Cory Booker tried to be more diplomatic about it and not say like because they lie all the damn time. But he did the classic. He said Chuck Todd is the worst, but then again, Jake Tapper assists. Who's worse? I think Chuck Todd is pretty bad. I think
between Chuck Todd and Jake Tapper,
I think Chuck Todd is stupider. He's dumber.
Yeah, maybe he plays dumb. I don't know. That's a tough one. I have to think about it. So let's go into no cows. Anybody else have anything to say on this?
Oh, real quick before, not on this, but real quick, I did ask around while you were doing the video. And there is a lot of ads on TV for the governor race, and the police union endorsed the Republican candidate.
Oh, really? Drama.
Shocker.
So how would you do you have a Democratic legislator, or is it just the governor that's Democratic, and then you have a Republican legislator? Do you know?
It's
Democrat.
Right now, it's the Democrats have everything right now. Yeah, they have the House and the Senate right now in Virginia. It's the first time in like forever that they have everything. And they actually, they are making some good progress. They have done a lot. And I think that's why it has the Republicans crying and going crazy. But they bring in Terry McClellan, he's just awful. That dude's awful. Like he goes on CNN and just constantly just go off at the left. And then we're like, oh, wait, vote for me. Like,
so I wonder if he loses. If he loses, I wonder what is he going to have to blame? Because he's a moderate. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his whole appeal. He's a moderate. He's not some far lefty as he would say. So that would be interesting if he loses.
He's gonna blame the left. He said the left stood home and they didn't like me. That's what they do. Every time that Democrat loses, they'll blame everything. But this is the guy that went on CNN and just basically called Bernie Sanders a socialist and crazy and whatever. And now he's like, hey, vote for me because we can't have another Trump in office. So it's gonna be. It shouldn't be this close. It should be a slam dunk, and he's struggling. And I think hopefully that guy doesn't pull it off. The Young King guy, he's just awful.
He's going to say defund the police caused him to lose. But PJ Chris, I wasn't doing an imitation. She said I sound like Tucker. I wasn't doing an imitation, so I don't know what I was doing just now. But let's get into No Cow Zone. First one.
Real quick case from the chat. Yeah. There's a poor politician, not politician, talking about, fake Cory Booker over here saying naming some real people like Bernie says pretty real, and Barbara Lee, and also Mike Gravel, rest in power.
Rest in power. For some reason, I thought about, when you say Barbara Lee, I'm thinking about Bass. What's her name? Karen Bass? Karen Bass is about to run for the mayor of Los Angeles. Does anybody have any thoughts about that?
Not the Tiger Lady, right?
Not the Tiger Lady.
Carol Baskin.
What? Nah, not the tiger lady. And put yourself on mute, man. We need to fix your mic.
Easy's probably losing it over there.
Yo, he's losing it.
And that's why we have Bedon on here to keep us grounded.
Well,
I saw your mic cut out when you were playing Warzone the other day too, so it's not just in this show.
I will say this: Karen Bass is thanking the Lord that she is not vice president right now. I tell you that much. Because remember, she was up. She was like one of the possibilities between Kamala Harris and her that to be vice president. And I'm sure she's glad she did not get the vice president because Kamala's getting thrown under the bus. Yeah. She's not helping herself either. But yeah.
Okay, so poor politics, not politics. We need a strong black woman. No, not Kamala. Talk about Barbara Lee because we know Kamala. She's the female Cory Booker. She'll flip like whatever the wind blows.
Who? Not Barbara. You're not. Oh, Kamala. You're talking about, right?
No, Kamala.
Yeah, Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. All right, let's go.
Barbara Lee is as real as it gets. I'm still disappointed she never challenged Nancy Pelosi for the Speaker of the House, but that's another topic.
Yeah,
that's another topic for Case when he comes and said that Nancy should be there for another 2 years.
No. Nancy gets no love. Let's go into No Cow Zone. Speaking of No Cow Zone, right? So my man Gabe gave us a couple of suggestions. Which one you want to hit first? Ivermectin or segregation of the anti-vax? I'm gonna let you decide what you want.
I mean, ivermectin is pretty easy. It's an open and shut.
Yeah,
so.
It's a straw man argument on your part. Let's do it.
It's not a straw man argument. So the problem is,
I agree with him in this. So
where everyone can agree, right? Where every one of us can agree is that the media has an agenda, and in this case, when Joe Rogan, who I haven't been a big fan of his rhetoric overall on vaccines on the podcast more recently, which has caused my viewership to drop down a bit. The one thing where I was very disappointed in the mainstream media on was that when he tested positive for COVID, they just kept saying, ivermectin and horse medicine, ivermectin, horse medicine. This is CNN, this is MSNBC, and it was just horse medicine, horse medicine, horse medicine. Also. Anybody who looks at it would just think, holy crap, like this guy is literally advertising that people drink horse medicine, when in fact, when he actually got prescribed ivermectin by a doctor, because ivermectin is fit for human consumption and it's in the right dosage. And shout out to Jimmy Dore, it is on the list of the WHO approved essential medicines, and it's normally used for treating parasites in the stomach.
Okay.
Now it's also suggested by the WHO to have clinical trials. It's saying right now for ivermectin in the treatment of COVID that it should be used only in clinical trials to determine whether it's real or not. Now, I'm not here to say ivermectin is a COVID cure or anything like that. Not at all. I'm here to say that the demonization of ivermectin as a horse medicine to make Joe Rogan look bad is preposterous, because it's something that has been given in safe dosages for years and for decades, and has been given
not for COVID
millions of doses.
Not for COVID.
Right now, some doctors are using it to treat COVID. It is up in the air. It is up in the air.
It's not up in the air. It's not up in the air.
Whether or not. And it is being suggested by the WHO.
It is not up in the
clinical trials.
Listen to me. It is not up in the air. They are studying it. There's nothing that has said that has been proven. There has been studies that have been pulled back because they've been plagiarized to make it seem good. There has been other studies that have shown positive effects, but they were tiny and not peer reviewed, and there are bigger studies going on right now. Okay, so
that's good. That's exactly what is required in this case. That's not my problem.
But people are trying to use ivermectin.
They're saying that it's horse medicine.
Well,
and
let me tell
shout
you
out to Big Meat in the chat.
But why are you pushing? Why are these people pushing a drug that has no proof that works for COVID yet? No proof whatsoever yet. Why are you pushing that over the vaccine?
He's not.
People are doing it.
Listen.
Yes, they are.
Has his controversial and takes that I don't agree with on the vaccine. He was prescribed by a medical doctor to take ivermectin. He didn't go and get it from CVS. He was prescribed by it.
It is dangerous to tell people that, because there are some people that are saying that vaccine is bad, but ivermectin is good and good for COVID when it's no proof whatsoever. And they're telling people, go talk to your doctor. when they know a lot of people don't even have doctors. And then when they go and try to get it, they can't get it. They resort to the horse medicine. Okay. So you're telling people to get something that they probably can't get in the first place. They get desperate and they go get the horse medicine and die.
Doesn't make sense. It's like if you say, oh, I can't get penicillin, I'm gonna go get horse penicillin. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's a false equivalency.
Yeah, but it
doesn't make sense that
it's not a false equivalent because people are actually doing it.
Gabe, I was trying to follow you until you were like, shout out Jimmy Dore, and after that, I kind of like.
Well, shout out to Jimmy Dore for being the person who called out literally that it's on the list of the WHO essential medicines.
That's but not for COVID. Not for COVID. Every time I hear
people say COVID,
I hear people say
you're straw manning me.
No, I'm not. Now. Because people keep saying, "Oh, this is it's been approved for people for decades. They won a Nobel Prize for this, but not for COVID." Okay. Not for COVID. It's like you're saying you're gonna get Tylenol for hangnails. I don't know. You get
the same thing I was gonna say. There you go.
For the clap.
It's like if I say, hey, I'm gonna go take Claritin.
Put some tussin on it. All right.
I'm gonna go take Claritin for COVID, and then you go Claritin's a horse medicine.
All right, let's give some chance.
They were saying horse medicine before Joe Rogan, though. It's not Joe Rogan.
Because they were just trying to kill ivermectin.
It's not nobody's trying to kill ivermectin.
I care about the false equivalency. I care about the false narrative that the media created.
Listen, okay, fine, okay. If I give you that.
If it works, it doesn't work. That's not for me to say. I'm not a scientist that does clinical trials. I would love to see. I did see that study.
Don't bring it up as an alternative then.
Yeah, because you can't be like, alternative. You can't be sure. You can't be like, shout out to so and so because it's on the WHO list of like clinical trials. It's not on the clinical trial for this.
It's like, a burn against the media. Is what it is.
But you're grabbing one little thing that they say about ivermectin to
a pretty big thing to say that somebody's
this is a possible cure now. Like just because the media says something that is wrong, or some people on the media something, or that are
most of the media
exaggerated,
and now CNN took it down because Joe Rogan said he was going to sue them.
It's not that they're trying to kill it, Gabe. It's that people are actually taking it. Like poison control is getting calls from people poisoning themselves taking these things. That's why they call it a horse medicine. Okay. Because
one thing has nothing to do with the other. What they need to do is educate the people and say,
and they are, and a lot of people
is something that should only. It was the same thing with the hydroxychloroquine that people were taking fish cleaner or something or fish tank cleaner. Yeah. Like it's the same thing. You have to take the right medicine prescribed by a doctor. It's not rocket science. What the media should do is say, hey, there is this medicine. We do not know if it cures COVID, if it treats COVID, if it whatever. Clinical trials need to be done. But what we can say is don't take dosages that are not given for humans and only take dosages provided by your doctor.
Listen,
that's the message that needs to be sent.
Why are you defending people that are saying, you demonizing it because you say horse medicine, but yet you say nothing about how they're preying on desperate people right now. And this is something that is not for COVID, that they're telling people that it works. They might throw a little caveat. Well, it worked for me, so I don't. But
Gabe, hold on. Let me jump in here.
People out there, and some of those people that are talking ivermectin are actually talking down on the vaccine at the same time. So
that's
you have
a separate issue. Let's talk about that. I'm totally in agreement with
you. So you want to avoid that.
No, who said it? I literally just said let's talk about it. I said let's talk about it.
They go together.
I said let's talk about this right now.
The only reason everybody's talking about ivermectin is because they don't want to take the vaccine.
Yeah. All right. Hold on.
Alan said that you're really trying to push the no-cow zone agreement.
I'm pushing it.
Yeah. Let's go to the chat.
Let's talk about where I disagree with Joe Rogan. I totally
disagree with him on
the vaccine. People shouldn't take it. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I think Case wants to go back to the mic. Let's give Case.
Oh, no. I definitely wanted to jump. I wanted to give a different voice because I'm actually on Gabe's side on this one. And basically, this is the reason why I separate the vaccine issue with the fact that people in the media are lying. This is what Gabe is saying. They're calling it that he's taking horse medicine. Like put ivermectin aside for a second. They're saying he's taking medicine for horse while he was taking the human side. And then you could get into the weeds with should he have done it or not? Should the doctor have prescribed it or not or whatever? I just went to CNN, and TYT also was saying it, calling it horse medicine, and a lot of different media companies was calling it horse medicine that Joe Rogan was taking. That's a lie. It's a lie.
Listen. This is how big an issue is. This is how big the issue is.
Is it true or not, though?
This is how big everything else is. That makes it like it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
I can't trust you if you're lying, though. I can't trust you.
We already know that the media is complicit in many things, and by providing this misinformation, it helps them lose the trust of more people. We already have this group of people that don't trust mainstream media, liberal media, and then you give them food to feed their fire,
and then you use that food to kill them.
Let's go to the chat because
to tell them to.
All right, so let's let the media lie, and then in that case, now they can come back and say, "Hey, the liberal media lies about this." That means they're also lying about the vaccine. That's the point. Is you can't let people lie about stuff, because when they lie about, once you lie about one thing, you lose the trust on everything.
Oh, I know.
When are we going to lose? When are we going to lose the track of Joe Rogan? We shouldn't have been listening to him in the first place.
Nobody says listen to Joe Rogan. I'm not saying go get ivermectin. That's not the point.
He's the topic of discussion now.
Straw man.
That's what you're doing,
Gabe. I know this is no.
You know what straw manning is? Gabe, when you make an argument that is not the argument that I'm arguing.
That's being discussed.
And then you take down that argument.
Gabe.
That is what a straw man, like a straw man that is in the field, which is a fake person, a fake man made of straw. That's what you're doing to me right now.
All right, let's go to the chat.
Gabe, if he's here, he will cancel you and Case.
Yo, John already canceled. Is he already canceled this, John?
Ralph Rodriguez just said the best thing. Tell people to listen to their doctor.
Listen
to the government.
But he's about to come back on the show. Actually, that's what he said. He's about to come back on the show.
Tag me in.
Isn't it misinformation or exaggeration or whatever to be talking about using it for COVID in the first place when it's not for COVID?
But that's not what we're talking about.
No, I mean it's part. You're talking about misinformation.
When you have a disease,
if you're saying this is good for COVID, that's misinformation as well.
He said that he threw what you call the kitchen sink at the COVID. He did all these different things: the monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin.
That's probably what
all
works,
prescribed.
Because
exactly,
that works.
We agree. We agree. That's probably more likely that the monoclonal antibodies are what helped versus the ivermectin. All he's saying, this is what I did. This is what was prescribed to me by a medical professional. And that's what I took. And now I got better. Then we get into what of it was what made him better specifically. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm mad at the media for lying about it because their trust is already on the brink. And now they're giving more reason for people not to trust them on the important stuff.
This is exaggerated.
Now, all right, so let me do real quick, Gabe, real quick. So in the chat, everybody, I already know PJ
There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Is on Team Carlito. Yeah, I want to read some of the stuff, but I want everybody to be clear on whose sides you're on. And by the way, this is all love. This is what we do. This is no cow zone. We're not canceling
Chris,
anybody.
He totally did say it was a prescription. Chris, he totally said it was a prescription.
I think after today, that agreement's out the window.
But hold on. I want everybody in the chat to show whose side you're on. Put hashtag Carlito or hashtag Gabe. So that I'm just curious.
Truth and hashtag fake media.
Lies. Fake. All right. Fake news, right? All right. So anybody have any last words on this topic?
No, Chris, he definitely did on one of the future podcasts. It was the one. It was one of his future podcasts, Chris, that he said that it was prescribed. There is a slight percentage chance that I'm wrong, but I'm 95% sure, if not higher, that I heard on the podcast on an episode, not like in the media clips or things like that, but on an episode that I was listening to that it was prescribed. So
yeah, I don't remember either. So I can't say either way.
% sure.
But I
Carlito
know
doesn't know because Carlito hasn't listened to an episode of Joe Rogan podcast.
No, but I saw that part. I saw that part because I don't want to talk.
You saw the clip from the media.
From his show,
that's the clip you saw?
From his channel. I saw the piece from his channel, and he said, I don't remember. He said the doctor prescribed it. He said he went to the doctor. He said he threw the kitchen sink, and he named that, and he named the antibodies, whatever, all that stuff. But I don't specifically remember saying that it was his doctor.
So on an episode,
and it could have been because I know Kate.
Well, I think it was his first or second episode after he talked about it. And he said that he considered suing CNN because one, they were saying that he was taking horse medicine, which was a lie. And then the other thing, he was saying that he was just following the advice of a medical professional taking prescribed drugs. So
which he got better.
There is a chance that I'm wrong on that, but I'm very confident, you know, in listening to the episode that I did.
It's not, that part really it doesn't matter to me, because when you have money, you could get a doctor to prescribe whatever you want. Okay, R.I.P. Prince.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep it moving. But much love. Nobody in the chat took me up for that offer, like to put hashtag whoever. So nobody is giving their side. So it's just you guys are the brave people here. Carlito and Gabe.
We know. Alan cancel you. And
that's true. Alan did cancel us, and some people
That's
have
not
their
the point of the no-cal zone.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another spicy topic.
I mean, I'm not gonna cancel Gabe, because I know in a year and a half
he's not gonna cancel because I'm right.
You used to say that
because
about
I'm speaking
Tozy.
factual evidence.
That's the same thing. I heard that line before.
Listen, Gabe. Even I'm not saying this, but even if you're 100% correct, this is such a small thing compared to the more damage that they're doing by telling people to take this stuff.
But CNN could be fixing the damage by telling the truth. They could have been saying
fixing what?
They could say we made a mistake. This is not a horse medicine, and although we don't recommend and say that people don't necessarily recommend it as a treatment for COVID, the WHO has said that clinical trials should.
How many times people have said it? I've seen that in multiple places.
Now they have to run retractions and things like that because it was literally libel.
All right, let's keep it moving.
Let's move on to the next thing. So
you have to give me the clip from CNN.
Let me just shout out my man Gamer for Life real quick. What's up, Gamer? Much love. Go ahead, Gabe.
I was gonna say so we could go two directions. We could say go in the direction of segregation of vaccinated and unvaccinated, or we could go talk more about Joe Rogan and his toxicity on the actual vaccine itself, which you said that I don't want to talk about, which I definitely volunteered to discuss.
I think everybody agrees on that, though.
Yeah, we probably all agree that
everyone. Let's move on to the other no-cow zone that you mentioned. Yeah, the segregation thing. I'm curious. I don't even know what this is exactly, but go ahead.
So pretty much what's that? What it's the idea that right now the problem that we have is that a lot of the portion of the population believes in science, wants to get vaccinated, and wants to move on with their life and move back to school. And the other segment of the population believes what they believe, whether they're right or not or whatever. We're not going to judge. They believe what they believe, and it's against what scientists believe. That's fine. Should there be segregation based on vaccinated and unvaccinated? Meaning, the schools, if you are unvaccinated and choose to be unvaccinated, then in that case, all unvaccinated children or teens should go to unvaccinated schools. And in that case, all vaccinated people go to vaccinated schools, and we see what happens, science. And the second part of that is hospitals. Do we have special hospitals for unvaccinated versus vaccinated? And then we see which ones get overrun and which ones don't. And in that, I think my biggest fear is that people that need healthcare that are vaccinated, did everything right, get put behind on a list versus somebody who's not doing the thing. So,
okay, the first one is easy, 100% segregated. You know why? Because we do it already.
Because you're a racist. That's why.
Because when you go take your kids to school, you already got to have vaccination before you get enrolled. So we're already doing it. So it's no different. Just add another vaccine to the list.
Go ahead.
Done.
Anybody else? Before I give my opinion? Anybody? Okay, so I'll give my opinion. I'm with Gamer for Life. I don't want to see any mandates, and let me explain. What's the
no one said mandates. Nobody said force you to get vaccine. We're saying
force you to go to a school.
Vaccine status.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me say, because I saw I was just reading what Gamer put, and he said he's against mandates. So I was going in that direction. But as far as the school, that's what's going on right now. I would be curious to see that experiment to see what happens. But this is my opinion with the whole thing overall. That I think, what's the objective? Is the objective to get rid of COVID? Period, or is the objective to promote vaccine and have as many people get vaccines? Right?
The objective is for my kids not to die.
Exactly. Okay, so if the objective is to get rid of COVID and to extinguish COVID, then I think we have to be able to give people options to work with those who want vaccines. So you have people who want the vaccines, let them have the option for vaccines. Then there's people who don't want to take the vaccines. So what do you do for those people who don't want to take vaccines? You have a robust testing system. Have a test that you could get the results in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So as soon as somebody gets COVID or a cough, you can say, here, let's take this test, boom, 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 and then you can find out. And I think when you have a robust testing and tracing system, now you have both options. Now we're really going to be able to tackle.
Let me tell you what the problem with that is.
Go ahead.
The problem with that is that we should have more robust testing. They have some rapid tests, but they're not super reliable. So we should get, no matter what, we should get more reliable tests.
I'm sorry. There are reliable. It's just not widely produced. Like we widely produced these vaccines, but they didn't do a very good job at the testing side and also the treatment side, which is why ivermectin is a big thing. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, there are some that are not as reliable because there's like home COVID tests. Like I bought some at the pharmacy, and they're not, they fine, but they're not going to be as good as something that's that you go into a doctor's office to get it done. But
lab, I agree.
The thing where I was going with this is that that won't matter. Because these people that are like really anti-vax, they don't even want to wear masks to begin with. There are people that they get COVID and then they just say they don't have it and they spread it. There's some people that don't have it and then they don't quarantine. They refuse to quarantine. So it's not something as that we're saying like I'm trying to find an example of a segregation that is like malignant, like in a bad way. This is something that is a health crisis. You know what I'm saying? This is like, it's like if imagine if somebody has like polio or something, and you're gonna let them just walk around infecting everybody wherever they want.
Yeah, well, that's actually kind of what we really should have done is what a lot of people were suggesting at the beginning: have everybody stay home for a month or two, give them $2,000 a month UBI. So now you can really pinpoint where COVID, the hot spots are, and then have robust testing, have vaccinations for those who want vaccines, and have treatment so that I'll call it the Joe Rogan or the Trump treatment, which means it got better actually. With way back when Trump got it, he was out for like a week, I believe, right? Now Joe Rogan got COVID and he was back in 3 days. So the treatment has improved. But it's just that treatment is only for rich people. So we need to find a way to make it for everybody, and we would definitely get rid of the COVID virus. Yeah, that's my opinion.
But meanwhile, those people, like Chris said in the chat, her grandkids can't get vaccinated. So those people are going to run around and give it to people that can't get vaccinated. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why you got to get tested, have a robust testing system so we could pinpoint those people in quarantine.
But do they want to get tested? Why were they going to get tested for COVID when they think COVID doesn't exist?
There are going to be those people. So I don't have an answer for those type of people, but I think the majority.
That's why I'm fine with.
And those people, you can't vaccine them anyway. You're going to hold them down and vaccinate them?
Say what again?
The way
those people that you just described, you're going to hold them down and vaccinate them, like
but they got to be consequences. So one of them is if you don't, kids need their vaccination to go to school. That would be one of those things.
John, go ahead, John.
No, I was just gonna say, like, the only way you get those people to probably do it is if you involve the insurance company and just tell them, like, if you get COVID, whatever's bill associated with it, we won't cover it.
They're already starting that right now, which is a great news.
By the way, I don't know if that's great news, because I'm already hearing people that I'm trying to sell Medicare for All on. They're saying like, hey, if Medicare for All gets implemented, and then if I don't want to take the vaccine, but they're going to take away my Medicare for All.
Yeah.
Is healthcare a human right or not?
They're not going to take your Medicare for All first. But what I'm saying is the insurance right now, right? Yeah, I get your point. But the insurance right now, they have the ability to say that, like, hey, we're not going to cover that. So if you don't get yourself covered, right? It's like you going to the dentist, right? If you don't miss the dentist if you don't go to the dentist for like every 6 months, the insurance come back and say, "Oh, you didn't do anything to prevent this, so we're not going to cover that."
Yeah,
I never heard of that.
Before, at the beginning of the pandemic, insurance companies were saying they're going to cover everything. They're pulling back on that now. So there's some people that are going to get COVID and they're not going to cover but the insurance. We have, I think United Airlines, I think they might be getting sued right now because they're requiring vaccinations. I think Delta added like a $200 extra to their copay for the insurance or the premiums for the insurance for people that are unvaccinated because they're going to get hit worse. I mean,
hey, but one good thing real quick. I hear Massachusetts, which by the way has like one of the most racist state cops out there, they made a requirement for police officers to get vaccinated. And I just was reading that a lot of cops are actually quitting, which is pretty good because that means their racism will go down because for the vaccination.
Was the Venn diagram of racists and anti-vax?
Anti-vax, so it would definitely be a good one. So hopefully Massachusetts will get some good policemen after that, but we never know.
All right, so I just want to ask a quick question. I'm gonna have a quick case study. How many people here can get tested? So I'll start first, and I saw that politics over politicians. She said that there's a testing van that is around her house. And in my area, there's a great spot that I could drive to. I've already used it maybe twice for my kids when they had scares for school, and they had everybody just get tested. All I have to do is like a walk up, sign a paper, they swab our nose, and then we get the results in the email, a testing result like the next day, free, and it's all free. So what is everybody else's situation, or do you know the situations in your area of getting tested?
In my area, like the school district, they do like testing drives. It seems like every other weekend they're doing testing drives, free testing drives. And then there's every once in a while you have other people that are doing free testing in different places. And the testing, I believe my testing was free, covered in a urgent care. I think they didn't charge the insurance company. So there are in my area at least, there are a lot of free places to get tested.
Okay, how about you, John? You know? Oh, Gabe, go ahead.
Yeah, this area is very same. Like our county does every weekend, every now there's areas that they actually send a lot of information.
Have you used it before? Have you used it?
Me? No. Yeah. Because my insurance they have testing sites that you just go to, like opens every day. You call them up, you walk in, you put your window down, boom, keep driving. So I had to do it.
And you've done that? You've done that before?
I haven't for myself because I haven't filmed but my wife and my kids have.
I was just curious. So I'm just curious how easy it is. And
super easy. Like for us, with me, like for school, like my daughter, who's in kindergarten, for school, she had a fever and they require a negative COVID test. So we kept her home one day and they require a negative COVID test before returning back to school. We just we go in, you drive up, put the window down. And then she goes, "Daddy, we drove all the way here just for them to put something in my nose." And then it just drove off.
That's funny. Go ahead, Gabe.
Yeah.
I was going to say shout out to Miami-Dade County because in Florida, it is a bright spot for COVID testing and COVID vaccinations. They have these drive-through sites funded by the county. One is in the park that's 5 minutes from my house. And I have about 4 or 5 county sites within 10 minutes driving distance where you can set an appointment. You show it's 24 hours a day. So you set up your appointment time, you show up. If you show up at night, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, there's hardly anybody there and you breeze right through. They scan your QR code, they give you a little swab and you're right through. And if you happen to get it in the morning, let's say like 7 a.m., you probably have your results the same day. If you get it at night, but the next day, probably by like noon or 1 o'clock, you're having your results, even if it's on the weekend. So nice. It's a really great system they have. They have not only that, they have vaccinations and they also have the monoclonal antibody treatments at those same locations.
And it's free? It's all free?
All free. You don't have to even put your health insurance. It's optional. You could put your health insurance information if you want, but it's optional. So they're not turning anybody away. It's all free, no bills. And they text you or email you your results. So that's really good for work and places like that if you have to show any proof.
Awesome. Been doing the same thing?
Mine's is more like yours, Case. There's an area we just go drive up, and then they'll email you the results.
All right.
So do they have an area where they fix mics?
You're canceled, yo. You're canceled.
You need a drive-through mic.
All right. As we end the show, we got 3 minutes left. I'm going to do Case Study QB's rapid fire. All right. So
price, baby.
And by the way, anybody in the chat, if you see anything, now is the time also to give love to the chat. So if anybody sees any good comments, just throw it out there.
Yeah, there were a bunch.
Let's give the chat some love.
Yeah, support parties and politicians was saying, I guess she doesn't agree with the segregation because germs are necessary to build immunity. I kind of disagree with that. You're gonna get all other germs and you build immunity from the vaccine also. And plus, you're gonna have breakthrough cases. You're gonna get it regardless. There's no need to you put yourself into extra risks. You know what I'm saying? Can those kids legal to get the shot themselves? The parents are crazy. I've seen stories about that kids are getting prevented from getting the shot. The parents are not letting them, and some kids have sneaked away to get it. Rafael said we segregate smokers and non-smokers already. So it goes. What else? Holly Horn was vaccinated for school. Okay. Said who advised ivermectin be used for? Yeah, we want that. Clinical trials. That's right. Always good hygiene is always important. So even without COVID, like the cases for the flus were like way down because people are not spreading their germs around. They're washing their hands and covering. So even without COVID, there's other benefits to having good hygiene. What else? Chris said, I don't want to go to hospital and have an unvaccinated person taking care of me. We have a bunch of the firemen and cops that in Florida, there's people working public safety and should be vaccinated. I think in New York State, there's a court case going on right now because a lot of medical workers don't want to get vaccinated, I think.
So I think that's where I come again with the robust testing systems. So somebody that works in that environment, if they haven't been vaccinated, they should have the option every time they come to work, get tested, do the swab, and in 15 minutes, have a 15-minute, not a 24-hour testing results. And in 15 minutes, they find out that they're good, and they can literally tell the patient. Sometimes
it take days before this, it shows up on those tests.
I know, I hear you, but there's faster testing now. It's just that it's not reproduced on a wide scale. Like we have much better testing.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes it takes time for you to get enough, like the virus to replicate enough to get caught by the test.
Oh, I see what you're saying, but doesn't that mean are you saying you could still transmit it even if it's that small that a test cannot?
I don't know if you could transmit it right away, but I don't think so. But the thing is that if I get it right now and then I go to work and they swab me, it's going to show up negative.
Yeah.
But then
and then still use a mask. And then still use a mask though, So anyway, let me go to this rapid fire. The CEO Dan Price making a great point. The Chipotle, he makes 38 million. CEO makes 38 million. The CEO of Burger King makes 20 million. The CEO of Starbucks, etc. But yes, your order costs more because of $1 more for workers' raises. Yeah, so he's making a great point here. And then here is have you guys seen this? This is Hillary Clinton. I got another one here. This is Hillary Clinton, apparently, that she was in England. Why she always has this face? Like, I've seen her make this face before. It's just a horrific face.
Let her live.
I mean, everybody could get caught at the wrong time.
That's true.
Clip this video when somebody says something mad loud.
I got my criticism of Hillary, but let her live with her cosplay.
But with this person holding her cape like a servant. Oh my goodness. Anyway, keep it moving.
That's funny.
All right, this was an interesting tweet. It says, is slavery always bad? This looks like it's somebody who's doing like a home report and they're trying to make a case for slavery. I don't know exactly the context of this, but it's saying...
Oh, right. So this might be related to a story that I wanted to bring up. I think it was in Pennsylvania. There was some kids that actually put a petition to bring slavery back.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Okay.
That's the American school system.
Yeah, and then the same school system, they kept having these anti-CRT forums where the parents come and talk crap about yeah, we don't want to teach kids about slavery, blah, blah, blah. Well, when they don't learn, they do stuff like this. They think slavery is okay because they never learn how bad it really was.
So here's some of the pros. I'm just gonna do 2, and then we're gonna end at 9:05 exactly.
Okay.
There's a pros. Slaves would be beneficial for some companies.
Them. I thought.
No, I'm reading it real quick. Slaves would be beneficial for some companies.
You've been going crazy on me. You've been going crazy. So I thought you were gonna be like, oh, let me.
Case is about to get canceled.
Oh no!
That was like.
No, that was like giving the pros. I'm reading the graphic. Damn.
That was like the government candidate that was saying in California, the Republican. He was saying that reparations for the slave owners. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, Larry Elder.
What a mess.
Your puppy, please.
But the thing was, they did get reparations. the slave owners did get reparations.
That's for John.
They got paid for the lost slaves.
All right, let me give this one pro real quick. Slaves would be beneficial for some companies due to faster work performance. That don't even make any sense. Anyway, let's keep it moving. That was dumb.
It sounds like a teacher that was giving it to them like as an assignment, and
that's what they came out. And a smart kid in the audience took a picture of it. Was like, "Can you guys believe this crap?"
They were wilding.
Like, slavery is good for those who are not the slaves. Duh.
All right, so let me read this quick tweet from Jeff Stein. He said, "Ballparking a bit here, but the military budget has gone from roughly $5 trillion in 10 years to $8 trillion over 10 years. The difference increase is roughly the cost of the Biden domestic spending agenda." So it's like they're making this big deal out of 3.5 trillion when the military industrial complex gets 8 trillion already over 10 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, we've done that exercise like 100 times where we go through all the things we could fund by just cutting the military just a hair.
Yep. Here's a criticism of the police, the many criticism. Police didn't think Lauren was in danger. That's this woman here. When she reported to them because she was stoic. Police didn't think Gabby Petito was in danger because she was crying and her abuser said she was crazy. They were both murdered. We must do better. Like,
can I say something about this?
Go ahead, buddy.
Because I mentioned last time we talked about it that, it was, the amount of coverage was like extra compared to what people of color get. There was a news anchor in the West Coast. I got it over here. He was a KTVU. Mm-hmm. He wanted to say something like that. He wanted to do like a brief, like 20-second, snippet to talk about that aspect. And they said no. And then he got indefinitely suspended the next day because he wanted to say that, when there's people that of color that are missing, they don't get the same kind of coverage. And it's something called, or it was coined by Gwen Ifill from, she used to be on PBS.
White woman syndrome.
Missing white woman syndrome. Missing white woman syndrome.
I think about share an article with, right, that we didn't get to talk about, but share an article about it that they were talking about.
Yeah. But this guy, he wanted to say something about it during the news. Like he pitched it to his director or the producer, and they said we're not gonna do it. And then the next day he got suspended.
Wow, that's nuts. I'm glad that Joy Reid. People have criticism of her, but she's one of the people that called it out. And since she called it out, CNN and other shows, or at least CNN, has shown other cases of people of color who were missing and showed their case. So,
there's a case where a dad is looking for his son, right? It's been like 3 months or something. And
I heard a stat, something like that. Is like maybe 40% are people of color that are missing at a time. And we don't hear about those people. And one person that I don't know, they found maybe a body. There was a guy that was missing recently, and the mom, it's a black woman. When she was being interviewed, she felt like she had to hold her emotions in because she didn't want to be seen as the angry black woman. She was already not getting support from the cops that they were supposed to be looking. They almost see well, you sure he's missing? And, they dismiss her concern. And then when she's on television, she also can't look angry because then they're going to be like, this angry, blah, blah, blah. So it's like double whammy, man. You can't win for losing. Yeah,
they say that the black cases, they will say, oh, you sure the person didn't run away? Or are you sure that, on their own volition that they try to, leave your house and they second guess the situation when the parent is just looking for their kid? So, well, that's the show.
And I understand that you can't have wall-to-wall coverage of everybody that goes missing, and I feel for the family of anybody that goes missing, but the size of the coverage is just outrageous. There's the discrepancy.
Yeah. So that's the show. Much love to everybody, all the new people that came in the chat and found the show from David Dole or my other appearances. Man, much love to everybody. Let's give y'all a shout out. And if anybody see any of my PJs you see anything in the chat, let me know.
General Specific said that Jelani is the boy that was missing outside of Chicago.
Okay. So support policies, not politicians. I want to give a shout out to PJ Chris, PJ Neat, even though PJ Neat canceled, Gabe and I is all good. No calzone, baby. No calzone. What else? Much love to
Bruce Jackson. I haven't seen Bruce Jackson before. Good comment about McDonald's employee payment in Denmark. The salaries are much higher at $22 an hour, but they also get state-sponsored health care and paid vacation, paid sick leave, paid childcare benefits. So it can be done if we want to pay people a living wage and subsidize that with governmental programs. It can be done, and it's done in most other countries.
There's no reason why the Chipotle CEO is making $40 million and then say, oh, wait, we're just going to pass the dollar increase to the consumer. They could just take it. He'll be fine. He could take a $5 million, $10 million pay cut. He'll be totally fine.
Gamer for life. Much love to you, PJ Holly. Much love to you. Rafael Rodriguez, if you're still there, much love to you also.
Like, share, and subscribe. The likes don't cost you anything, but it helps us a ton.
Join our Discord.
Join the Discord. If you feel so inclined, throw a super chat. Case get a new computer. As Case is the progressive producer, producing all of these shows with his excellent work. So we want to make sure that we get him a computer to do the best possible work.
Good question. What's going on with the possible government shutdown?
Going on. I hope we don't.
No,
it's a great show tonight with the question mark. I don't know. I
could tell you what happened. Is Mitch McConnell, when it was his turn, he said he's going to raise the debt ceiling. Absolutely. You could not shut down on America, and the Democrats are doing the same. And now he says, no, we don't agree with it. So again, Republicans are good at politics, Democrats are not. So
this is a perfect opportunity for the Democrats to bust the filibuster. They should use this moment to say, hey, see what Mitch McConnell did? He twisted our arm. Now we got to bust the filibuster. So you not only raise the debt ceiling, but then you could do police reform. Then you could do the voting reform that we need to pass.
It's not going to happen because of people like Manchin and Sinema.
Yeah. We got to put
the pressure on. How can you not be against, how could you say, Mitch McConnell is basically calling the shots. There's no majority. He is the majority. So it's he could close the door on everybody. Said, I'm not raising the debt ceiling just because that's, But 4 years ago, when it was time, he's 2 years ago, whenever he had it, he's yeah, sure, we'll raise the debt. Absolutely. There's no question about it. So they get away with murder. They get away with everything. And it will come 2022, they get rewarded because people have very short memory. And he will still blame the Democrats for shutting the government down. So
much love to everybody. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. And this is the only, I don't want to say the only, there are probably other shows, but where we I revel in our disagreements. I love our debates, and then I love all my people at the end of the day, even Neat in the chat who canceled me. Much love to y'all. And going to give any last words? Let me go around the horn one last time. Carlito, Gabe, Bendone, John. Everybody good? Any last words?
Phase up.
You and Gabe cancel.
Cancel this week. All right. I'm just
going to go next Monday.
Yeah, come back next Monday, everybody. And also thanks to our Patreon members, Pedro Hernandez and Nancy Bancher. All right. Much love to everybody.
Hit the music.
Adios.
Yeah. Bring it back to everybody.
Don't say anything too spicy.
Let's dance out. Dance out with the rock out. Hey, only Gabe, join me. Everybody else is just chilling. Hey.
I'm bobbing.
You and Gabe could do it.
All right, everybody. Much love.